It is the 5th of the 3rd month of 1442. The Light and Sound of God continues the 25th of the 5th month of 1434 paper entitled Harold Klemp's Youth Ask a Modern Prophet About Life, Love, and God. Eckankar, from the Sanskrita Eckankar, means divine sound and light. That is why Eckankar is called the religion of the light and sound of God. The Shariat in Islam is the middle path law. In Eckankar, it is the name of the cult's scriptures. The 12 volumes of the Shariat Kisukmad are the central scriptures for those called Vairagi adepts by members of the Eckankar Corporation. They used to have a team of 9. Last I looked, there's a team of 5. I think it actually got cut down to 3, but I think there was some replacement recently, or a few years back, of a couple individuals. The living Shariat is the experience in life that connects one to God somehow. Some people can't picture themselves inside their head. They may have to practice frequently and with smaller details. In Eckankar, one is taught the light you see in dreams and visions, particularly blue light, from one spot like a star, is Ek instead of psychedelic light seen by most in life. The symbol of these is what is seen in Eckists or Eckankar spiritualists' art. They claim the light is actually their leader. There is the controlled visualization of light. Can't help but think this kind of stems from Sufi interpretations of the narrations about Muhammad and light. There is a controlled visualization of light, singing "Hue" and picturing a shield of white light between you and those who curse you is said to be a protection from black magic. And I think that was a typo that I put there. I didn't say the typo, I read the other, but enlightenment can come gently. It can come with fasting while thinking on spiritual matters. In Eckankar, the most popular is to do a water fast while trying to always think of Harold Klemp. Fasting is a way of burning off negative effects, getting in touch with your mind, and breaking attachment to the material world. The sound current, or sound of God, is the visionary sound that is heard. The sounds we can hear may be too loud, or too much of one sort, or too little of another. We may have to work towards a balance by changing diet, media habits, and other things. Imbalance can cause psychiatric problems or spiritual problems with interpreting psychedelic phenomenon. Eckankar teaches this of an astral world that is all around. Instead of calling much of this auras of light, heat, moisture, and magnetism, like the scientists knew, all of these bodies are called light bodies. Some people see them. Sometimes they are seen in places that others aren't. Seeing beings from other realms might occur because of a drop in vibrations, or raise in vibrations. But remember, we're like theta. Humans are theta creatures that respond to higher and lower vibrations. But chanting can help with this, but use words properly. Do words for God and religious things lose meaning when prophets and Eckmasters are forgotten? Or are they just as important in themselves? God exists. Al-Quran, Surah 39, 845 speaks but being repulsed by the mention of only God as a sign of disbelief in regard to the hereafter. Al-Quran, Surah 40, Ayat 12 speaks of how some will disbelieve when the efficacy of God alone is heard. Sugmad, our God, transcends time, space, and matter. Much in the same way, Al-Quran, Surah 112, Ayat 3 and 4 explains the theistic atheism. The contradiction to this is found in Eckankar works. In Islam, things are more clear. Al-Quran, Surah 6, Ayat 103 teaches Allah transcends all visions, but encompasses them all. The next verse speaks of enlightenments towards our own good. This is acknowledging light and sound as divine manifestations. Our other senses are thanks to God and should teach us about God. Muhammad taught self-awareness was the way to know his Lord. Know yourself and your Lord. And so Paula Twitchell kind of had a trilogy the same way that Harold Klemp had an important trilogy. Stranger by the River is one that you're going to end up buying if you become an Eckankar member, because you probably won't be able to borrow it at the frequency that you're going to need it, particularly for years 4 and 5 in Eckankar. So, Tiger's Fang. Kirbal Singh was and basically considered Paul Twitchell, was training Paul Twitchell to as basically a second-hand man, his right-hand man, whatever. And he wrote this, but the Tiger's Fang was edited. To kind of exclude some of these things. There's just some powerful sounding stuff here, like in chapter 7, power, that is God, understand that, you fool, nothing is greater than power. I thought there was a one-liner here. So, certainly a level that a person may approach, but in my name am I, in myself am I, in my body am I, in all am I. Light and sound is basically how you can interpret basically anything that we know of can be put in those terms in one way or another. And the footnotes in this printing refer to the Ekvidya. I don't have that book, and some of the stuff's been pulled off of online, as one may see. The Light and Sound one, you're using different chapters. So lesson 1 uses chapter 3 of The Stranger by the River. Lesson 2, 31. Lesson 3, 24. Lesson 4, 7. Lesson 5, 12. Lesson 6, 26. Lesson 7, 25. Lesson 8, 34. Lesson 9, 21. Lesson 10, 27. Lesson 11, 33. Lesson 30, 12. And I'm not sure, Light and Sound 2, which chapters they have you go over, or at least I didn't mark it down here. I think I did a programming detailing just the titles for the following lessons. The Talons of Time, kind of the test of Satan in a little bit different of a way. Meeting the Beast and Going Beyond. But in Eckankar, Satan isn't really like the enemy. Satan's just has a task to perform. Sort of how some people might think of Malik Taus. But have your experience. Live your experience. You